Hello again. After the nerfs happen in Path of Exile 3.14, I have only one question. Do you like CoC? Do you want to play CoC? Have you ever wanted to own one of these bad boys, but you don't own that much of currency? If you know how to make one of these, this video is not for you. However, here is a 100% cheaper crafting solution. First, you're gonna bring a 6-link desired armor, then you're gonna slam it with a Hunter Exalted Orb, then awaken it with a Redeemer armor using Awakener Orb to make double influence armor. Question: if you don't know how to make a double influence armor, then this video is too advanced for you. Let's proceed. Start up again. First of all, bring a 6-link armor that you desire to craft on, for example, a Varigalia. The next step is you use the perfect fossil. Bring the quality as high as possible. 28 or 30 is quite enough. It's not mandatory, but you can do it. Then slam it with a Hunter Exalted Orb to make it a Hunter Influence. If you play map a lot, you will find this Reforger crit quite often shows up in your crafting recipes. Slam craft crit into your armor until you get attack, have a percentage critical strike chance. In this case, we have attack and spell. Let's try to make only attack because it's easier to craft. For example, this one. Make sure that you have only one Hunter Influence modifier in this case. If you have to, keep reforging with a crit until you get only one crit modifier influence on your armor. The next step is simply you go on the market and you buy something like this. It's an armor with a Redeemer influence that have chance to gain freezy charge on hit. Make sure when you buy the armor it is the only influence modifier. You don't have any other Redeemer or Redemption modifier in that armor. Usually it's cheap. 5C, 10C, 20C. However, you're going to buy that armor and use the Awakener Orb. To awaken your armor, you have to use the Awakener Orb on the armor with a Frenzy hit and slam it with a 6-link armor that have critical strike chance to attacks. In this case, you have around 2 outcomes. The first outcome, you have 2 suffixes only that have influence modifiers. In our case in here, we have 3 suffixes. If we end up with the 3 suffixes, this is not a failed craft. We still can craft on it and sell it to the market really expensive or even use it. The next step is simply you're going to go to the to try to find that an empty prefix. If you don't have an empty prefix, you should reforge with keep suffixes. But if you have an empty prefix, you simply go to the prefixes in your crafting bench. You're going to craft a line called suffix cannot be changed. If you don't have it, you can also buy it off the market from another player. The next step is simply you go to the harvest crafting, buy it from another player, or maybe you have it in your crafting bench and reforge as caster. Since we have suffix cannot be changed, these 2 modifiers, lovely modifiers, will stick in. And when you hit it, you can apply additional curse. In this case, we can say this is completed. You're going to go to the prefixes. You can craft something like maximum life or energy shield. In case of the lucky case, after awakening, you end up only with 2 suffixes. That is the best case scenario. Why? Because we can craft additional suffix to our case. So, the next step in this case, if you have only 2, you become very lucky. You will end up crafting something really expensive. You can sell it up to 50 Exalted Orb. Kinda jeopardizing, but it's really good. So you're going to craft also again, you're going to go to the benchmark, you're going to go to the prefix, you're going to craft suffix cannot be changed. But in this case, you will not slam it with a caster. You're going to go to the harvest crafting and slam it with a critical again. If you slam it with a critical again, you get a higher chance to obtain spells have critical strike chance. If you get tier 1, that's the best case scenario. Tier 2, it's okay, no problem. Then you're going to go back again to the prefixes and add suffix cannot be changed. Then you hit the harvest crafting and you slam it with a caster. In this case, you have this is like the perfect armor that you can get eventually. And this thing sells out really expensive. And if you use it, I advise you, if you play Castware on crit, you're probably going to use that armor. It's like the best case. The average cost as this as we see in the counter does not reach as the expected cost we see in the market. People usually craft this with around 10 exalted orb roughly, and then sell it and make profit for like 25 or 30 exalted orb. And before I go, it is worth to mention if you end up after using the Awakener orb with 3 full suffixes that in it you can still jeopardizing removing the third suffix, but it is not worth it because it's really hard. You could probably use Honor Craft or Annulment. You have a higher chance to remove one of your favorite modifier. Is the best case scenario is to just reforge prefix cannot be changed and then reforge caster to end up with you can apply additional curse, sell it and start over or use it whatever you decide. But in case you get extremely lucky and you have like only two suffixes, you still have an empty suffix. In this case, you just use like you just craft prefix cannot be changed, reforge a crit to have the second crit modifier for spells, and then prefix cannot be changed, reforge caster or reforge life or whatever you want to end up like having you can apply additional curse. In this case, you have one of the most expensive rare craft in the game with, I assume, a really cheaper price considered to the price of the market right now. Thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, leave a like if you have anything regarding craftings. You can ask me. We can debate. If you have a cheaper way to craft this armor, please leave it in the subscription in the comment section so I can take a look at. If it's worth trying, I will try it by myself. Thank you for watching again, and see you in another video.